This looks like it might be a long night. Welcome back to some more Melvor Idle Adventure Mode. We are on episode 49. I recorded, well, actually, we're technically on episode 50 if you want to go by the episode that just didn't happen. So I recorded an episode and then found out one of my audio inputs was bad, and now I'm re-recording everything again. Unfortunately, I've already advanced one section of this. So to recap, we started going through the Impending Darkness event, and I did a whole bunch of cooking, and then I started doing some astrology. I've actually beaten this on my standard account, and I am now complete, 100% complete with the game. I got a follow-up video I want to do here at some point. But of course, I beat the game, got all the items, got all the monsters, have 100% completion done, and now I'm ready to complete this. I've got some lessons learned from the Impending Darkness event itself, and I was trying to cover some of that, so we'll dive into it here. Unfortunately, the audio did not record for the channel that I need to, so I have to redo it. And we are now advanced one further iteration into this. So we started off, I think we had to pick one of these, and you basically pick negative effects. So we picked an effect and went through it, and then picked another effect. So on the first completion of this, we beat Bane. Well, we beat all the trash mobs, we beat Bane, and we got into the Shield of Melee Power. I just beat it again and got the Shield of Ranged Power. So we've got two completions done of the, well, 2 rounds, whatever you want to call it, 2 phases or something. We're going to switch over to Protect Melee. We're going to switch over to... All right. So to kind of recap the gear that you need, because we're in the Impending Darkness event, actually, I guess I better point out that I had to take this 100% chance to ignore slow effects. So I had to take that. Now, does that mean prayer counts? Ooh. No, that's slow. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the Unhallowed Wasteland, to counteract the healing that these guys get, you need to have all this Slayer gear on, the max skill cape to get into the areas, some of the other areas, as well as the, it gives you the Slayer cape negation effects, plus the Hunter's Ring. So we need all this stuff. What I've been tinkering with is running this Relentless Fury Glove, and then once we get out of the Unhallowed Wasteland, running the Relentless, the ring that goes with it. Okay, let's get these out of the way so they're not blinking and annoying me the entire time. All right, we are going to dive into this. We'll go to magic. I want to be set up for, actually, you know what? Let's do Surge 2 through this. So we're attacking a little bit faster. We are running Diamond Luck Potions, and we have Protect Melee, Battle Heart, and we're going to go into the Unhallowed Wasteland. And the reason for that is these greater skeletals. So we need to, if we get stunned, I want to be healing on this. I'm going to manually heal any stuns, just because these things have a chance to kill you, and the faster these stacks build up, the worse it gets. So I want to heal across these. Unfortunately, we lost the whole video. So, I mean, I've got the video and I could do some audio over it, but I really don't want to. So here we are again. I'm going to go run through this. Didn't really miss anything. I was going to explain what I'm explaining now, which is that I want to heal through stuns and the gear setup changes that I've made here. I've found out a few things. Well, actually, one person's suggestion to do this Protect Melee was solid, or Protect Melee and Protect Ranged in the next area. I was running Protect Item in case I died, but I actually went through my standard side. As long as you know when to heal, which is basically when you're stunned, or to prevent stun in the case of Bane, there's a place to heal there. But as long as you know when to heal, and as long as you have all the gear that you, well, all this gear basically, you're good to go. There's not really anything Not really anything in here that's going to kill you. This is $32.99. What are we at? Yeah, this thing will die before then. Especially with this Protect Melee, it only has a 20% chance to hit. Once we catch it on fire, there it goes. More Great of Skeletals, so we're going to heal on stun. Hopefully we light this thing on fire. Go ahead and heal that just because. Lighting things on fire is a very good thing. I better heal that. I'm getting leery of these Greater Skeletals because this is what kills me every time. Like every time. I should switch to Incinerate or something on here. Oh, because Incinerate doesn't miss, so it constantly burns these things down. Go ahead and heal on that. I don't know what my auto eat is, 3,700. Yep, heal on stun. Heal the stun. Or heal on stun, not heal the stun. A little different idea there. Let's see here. Kill this thing off. Go to the next monster, which is going to be ranged. So we'll switch over to this. I'm going to leave Protect Melee on for now. I know it's not going to help on this thing, but this thing's going to die. This won't hurt nearly as much. Hopefully we don't get a Greater Skeletal as the boss of this area, because that's really going to suck. Although I need to watch this 3,900 and 3,400. We don't have that many stacks and we're down to 3,900. It's going down quick. So maybe I should pay attention and heal every once in a while. So one of the things you notice, that thing got stunned. Let's switch over to this. Let's see here. This should be okay. One of the things that they recommend, like this is the recommended how you're supposed to take these, the negatives. The first thing they tell you to take is the 100% chance to ignore stuns, which means that every monster for the entire fight, the whole thing, the whole event will ignore stuns. And you just saw how, I stunned this thing. I stunned the last one. Let's see, he's stunned again. So those, and stunned again. So if I'd have taken that ignore stun, he would not be stunned right now and he'd be hitting me. So kudos to whoever it was on Reddit that said, it was like the first person that beat this or the first person that wrote about it or something. They basically said, we're still in good and auto eat. They basically said, just don't take that. Don't ever take that, really. That's kind of like the last one you want to take. Just because you can use all that stun damage. And one of the things I'm doing with the melee is equipping this Relentless Fury Gloves. And now that we're through the Unhallowed Wasteland, I'm going to change my gear sets up. I can get rid of this, sell that off. Let's see here. So I don't need those. I need the regular armor. So we're going to equip that on the Terran gear. We're going to equip the Glacier gear, or the Glacier armor, and then that armor. Then we're going to go and switch our passive slot out to the Relentless Fury ring, if I can click on it, the Burning Madness ring, and the Poison Virulence glove. Now, up in the last time I went through this on the range side, I was running that poison shield, because I think it works with the poison virulence, better chance to apply poison and whatever. I switched over to this power one because it gives 5% damage, or a minus 5% damage reduction on the enemies. So it makes they get hit harder. Okay, so we're going to switch, make sure everything's good. We're good there, and good there. So we're going to switch to magic. No, we're going to switch to melee, and I want to switch to protect ranged, because the next thing we're going to go to is Dark Waters, and the rockin' in here are what can kill you. So we're going to switch over to Catal's. I guess we could switch this prayer over. Again, stunned, burning, you're ticking more damage off. You're doing more. More is better. So if we'd have taken that 100%, stun, ignore stun, that would have been not so good. So those are some of the key changes. Basically, the relentless gear that I'm putting on, the relentless fury and the relentless fury gloves and the fury ring on my melee character, because it generates more stuns. And if we get one of those rocking things in here, you'll see it. It'll get stunned, most likely. And that was really helping me out on my standard account. So in the Unhallowed Wasteland, you have to worry about the greater skeletals. And then in here, you have to worry about the rocking. Once you're through those, everything else just melts off and dies very easily. Rocking. So now we need to do protect ranged, give him a 20% chance to hit. He will get stunned quite a bit right there. And that's coming from this relentless fury stuff. The damage reduction I don't find does a whole lot. Keeping him stunned and not hitting me does a hell of a lot more than the damage reduction, because you're still taking damage. You're just stunned while you're doing it, and you take an extra %. So that seems to work out really well. Stunned him a lot, and then these things are kind of a nail biter, but if you keep them stunned, they're not nearly as bad. So we'll fight another one here. He'll get stunned again, and like I mentioned earlier, this gives you a 15% chance to stun plus another 10% from this shield. So that's like 25% or more, depending on how this gear's all set up. And the stun he does comes from the shockwave. So every once in a while you'll get hit with it. But that's the other cool thing. You get a 15% chance to ignore stuns and freezes with this gear on. So he's also not stunning you. So this made a huge change for this particular part of the fight. And they seem to like to throw rockins in here quite a bit. So, and I like burning them down. But I still will heal through this, because I think 33.95, I think they do get down. If they hit you and you've got too many affliction stacks on, they will hurt quite a bit. So is what it is. Okay, burning this thing down, keeping him stunned. The fight just goes over so much quicker. What do we got? A little unicorn guy. So we're going to switch over here to Surge 2 and that, and we'll switch to Protect Magic. Now from this point forward, actually what we could do is say take Stone Skin. Doesn't really matter. From this point forward, nothing's going to kill us. This is the boss of this area. I mean, I could probably take that Protect on here and not get hit as much, but this thing's not going to kill us. 2565. That's the max damage this thing's going to do. Even with full stacks, I don't think we're going to get down there. Yeah, we might. I shouldn't say never. I feel like we're not getting all our hit, and I know this is building up, but 3816. Oh yeah, we got a long way to go. And we're overhealing too a little bit. So we're through that area. Done. That's it. So now we move on to the Shrouded Badlands. Okay, switch over to this. I think they recommend, well, I think they do recommend following the combat triangle, but at some point, and maybe it's this next area, that might be the Perilous Peaks, they tell you not to worry about following the combat triangle and just let your magic do the work. Because you can just blow through all these trash tier mobs, and it might even be this area. But I still follow the combat triangle just because it goes faster. Like if I put magic against this, it's going to burn this thing a little bit, but look at all this stun damage I'm doing, and it's just hitting it and burning it and hitting it harder. And you gain like 30% on stun too, 20 or 30%. Freeze is one and stun is the other. So we'll switch over to this. We'll hit for a stun and a fire. Of course, we'll light it on. We'll poison it. I mean, you get all these effects going on. Now we're burning again, or they're burning, I should say. But the range can actually stun too. See, there you go. Stun, fire, slowed, poisoned, like just one after the other. Let's see. We'll switch over to magic. We'll do our normal magic thing here. All right, we can get rid of this. Hopefully this will leave us alone and I won't see that blinky stuff too much. This went from 28 to 26%. If I do Surge 2, I get a 0.2 faster attack. So I kind of like leaving that on. But if I'm not running the prayer, then I do run the magic. If you run protect melee, it drops this down to a 20%. But if you run fervor 2, it takes 10% of their evasion off. Not that it really makes a huge difference, but attacking faster, I think, is generally probably the accepted thing. I saw that on Reddit, or it was either Reddit or it was in the wiki for the site. They actually recommend using Surge 2 for some of this stuff because it gives you ranged evasion, or you get the ranged evasion, I guess, but it also bumps your attack speed up a little bit. All right, last area, we'll go into here. If I can click the button. And I think this might have been the area they said you could just leave your magic, burn all this stuff off. I still follow the combat triangle in here. It just makes things go so much quicker. You're going to take the damage. I mean, all this stuff breathes fire. Not really much you can do about it. Heal there, switch over. And with a little bit of stone skin on, we're doing a little less, we're taking a little less damage. Not that it makes a whole ton of difference, but every little bit helps. And of course, the more this thing stays stunned, the more we work it down faster. Now, I did do a combination of the spiked shell ring and the gauntlets, the same gauntlets, the spiked shell gloves. Wonder what happens if we attack with this thing. 73% chance to hit. But if we switch over to magic, we go up to 70. It's not that great. But with that and the dark steel dagger, with the spiked shell stuff, this causes bleed. And then you put on the dark steel dagger, that thing does bleed also, and you make your melee attack a little bit faster. I was tinkering around with that, and I was trying to kill the boss with that. It didn't work great, so I'll just throw that out there. Seemed like a good idea, but it just doesn't do as much damage as the tidal wave or the tidal edge does. And then, like I said, that relentless fury stuff does so much better on the stuns that it was better, just better all the way around. In fact, I need to remember to change that stuff when we go fight Bane here in a second. Go ahead and heal for what it's worth. Switch back to melee. Oh, it's unfortunate that the audio crapped out, but here we are pushing forward. I should just go ahead and beat this thing tonight, but I know it's getting late and I got to get this video out. We'll be busy tomorrow and I won't have time. Although I'm staying up late and I'm going to be tired tomorrow. Stunned again. Stunned again. Actually, this thing adds one round of stun too. So where does it say that on here? Increases the length of the stun inflicted by 1. So you're also stunning them for 2 rounds if you hit them. Or you can stun them for 2 rounds if you hit them. So if these things are stunned for every other attack or whatever, every third attack, I mean, that's several attacks that you don't get hit with. You know what I mean? So works out great. Stun him. There's another stun, I think. And done. Okay, now we're on the Bane fight. Bane is magic, which is great. So we're going to go in here to prayer from magic, or protect magic. And let's see here. We're good to go for this fight. I don't have to change anything out. I do need to set this over to incinerate. And the reason you want incinerate is incinerate doesn't miss. So it will actually burn him down. And actually the best thing you can get is a magic Bane, because you'll just melt him. The big thing that for this particular fight, the big thing that I found is that this suffocate. If you get below 50%, it stuns you. And I was getting stunned constantly on my standard account by it because I wasn't paying attention to that one entry. All right, so let's knock this out. So whenever we see suffocate come up, we're going to manually heal. But you can see how fast it burns him down. And he's going to mist walk and start healing back some of that. Normal attack. Unknown threat. We haven't got suffocate. Here's suffocate. So we're going to take a little bit of damage, then we're going to heal. And the reason we take some damage is so that incinerate kicks off and starts burning him down and keeps him burning down. The more we do this, the better this goes. Oh, heal that. I should have let that incinerate. Oh, I did let that incinerate hit. Okay, we took a little damage. Let him burn some more. Make sure this one hits. Heal. And just keep letting him burn. So the problem I have with this, if you get the melee version of this, that really sucks, because you get down to this part or somewhere in the third to quarter of health, and this thing just keeps regenerating health constantly, and it just sucks. Whereas with this, I mean, you just never miss. With the magic, you just never miss. So you can just melt him away, and done. So now we've got shield of magic power. So now we can replace the earth layered shield, and we can take another negative. Okay, so we don't want that one. We want 20% max hit and 10% minus 10% max. I think that's the one we want right there. Yeah, that 100% chance to ignore. No, I don't want to take that. So this is the one, if we take this, nothing can get stunned. Now, the reason they say to take this is because Bane himself is immune to this. So if you just ignore it, he goes, it's not going to affect him. However, all the other stuff you fight, which is like 90% of the battle. All right, we want 20% max hit. If you take this one, all the other trash mobs you fight, ignore that. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we go through this and we get a ring, and then we fight Bane one more time. We have to go through it 2 more runs. So I'm going to take this, throw this in here. We now have, and this is going to do a big negative to, I'm going to lose 3% damage reduction for my magic, which sucks, but the enemies take minus 5% damage reduction. So they're going to hurt. I also need to remember to come back in here and switch out. Let's see. Number 1 goes to that. Number 2 goes to that. Number 3 goes to this. And then we need to equip this on number 1 passive, this on number 2 passive, and this on number 3 passive. Okay, so we should be set up for the next time. That's all the gear for this. And the reason I'm setting it up this way, and actually you could do the Terran, or actually we could, maybe I should. You can switch out the spike gloves for this Relentless Fury, because it gives you an extra 1% damage reduction. I don't know if it's any good or not necessarily, but you can. I think I was going to mention that earlier, but that's for the melee side, which you don't really need so much. I don't know, but we're through the first 3 phases. All the shields are gotten. The next phase will get a power ring, which who cares? I don't think we'll ever use it in any of this. And then the final one is the actual end. So you didn't see the one where I got the ranged shield, but there's the ranged shield. And then here's the magic shield. So we've actually gone through 3 of the 5 cycles of this whole thing. So we're really close to being done with it. 2 more to go. And that will do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one where we pick this up and hope maybe finish it off. We'll see. Anyway, that will do it. Take care.